Just you, me, and the odds. We stuck together, we two peas in a pod. You dealt a bad hand, I'm there seizing the cards. We'll never be separated till we see in the gods.
Welcome back, everybody, to another Raid Shadow Legends video by Clam Boss. Today we're going to be talking about the protection set. Valkyrie is specifically, I've put it in. The reason why is she puts on like 8 buffs at a time, so we can test, how many of those stay on, how impactful will this be in the arena. I hope it should be pretty impactful, but we'll see. And, we'll just decide whether or not this is something that's really viable yet, or if we need to kind of come up with another plan of attack for it. So, again, this is a testing video. This is not, me saying something's broken or not broken, or that this will be the end of the conversation. This is more the beginning of it. So let's take a look at, how often these stay on. We know 30%, we can kind of roughly do the math, but let's actually put it into practice in the arena and see how effective we think it will be. Not necessarily whether we win the matches or not, but more so because, I haven't optimized everybody or anything like that, but more so to see, is this a viable strategy? Would this be good on defense? Would this be good on offense? So first, let's look at the gear itself. Now, I've got her in a trash set. This is, some of them are decent pieces, but for the most part, we'll be trying to farm much better pieces, from Hydra. So as of right now, it's not going to have the stats that we'd like, but it should do the one thing that we really need to test more than anything. And that is, how often, these buffs stay on, the people that we put them on, and how impactful will that be in the arena. So the protection set itself, the first piece that you put on gives 20 resistance. To be honest, I would have rather seen that to be accuracy. Resistance is something you need to stack a lot of. 20 helps a lot, don't get me wrong, but I don't necessarily think that having a set that has no accuracy on it is going to be very easy to build what you need, especially for arena. If you're putting these up, they probably were thinking somebody like Valkyrie, except Valkyrie needs accuracy too. So we've got her built with like 225 accuracy. That's not going to be enough to be, knocking back people's turn meter in the arena. So we've got the 20 resistance. Then we've got 15 hit points, 15% hit points for the second piece. That's strong. 12 speed. That's also strong. Then number 4 is kind of a lost slot because if you go all the way to 6 pieces, you get that 30% chance. You get another 12% speed at 5 pieces. And then you get that, 30% chance to protect buff cast by the wearer. I hope those add together and it's 45% so that we're almost at 50%. But if not, it'll be a little on the weak side, I think. So we'll take a look. But 24% speed is strong. That's like 2 sets of speed gear. So if you had a champion and say 2 sets of speed and 1 set of accuracy, something like that, this would be the equivalent of that as far as speed goes. 15% hit points is not as strong as it is with Stone Skin, but it's still pretty strong to add that on top of everything. So it is strong to have the resistance, the hit points, and the speed just tacked on top of the substats that you're going to roll anyway, and on top of the stats, of course. But I think it's mainly going to make these a viable set sooner so that you can put these on somebody earlier than you would be able to. You'd have to farm a lot longer since you can only get these once a week as of right now when you face the Hydra. So I do think that's the case. The thing that worries me is like later on when everybody has like God tier sets, is that going to become a problem that these add all this stuff onto it? And they're also God tier. We're going to start seeing even greater divides between newer players and older players, even though they would always be there. Now, this might be a little hard to farm the arena right now. I'm up near gold 5. But let's create a team that we hopefully can use to like cut in on other teams. To start with, let's go ahead and not worry too much about actually winning any of these fights, but mainly just try to see if we can get the cut in or even go first, place these buffs and see how many of them stay on. So this one maybe was a bad idea because of Foley, but we'll see. Oh, I do get to go first. So we'll go first. Sadly, this is going to set Foley off if I do this. But we're going to do it anyway. Try to sleep everyone. Foley attacks. Everybody lived, so we're okay. Now we're going to see how many of these buffs stay on. We're going to have to do more than one of these tests because, you know, obviously RNG it isn't going to be exactly 45% every time or exactly 30%, but we'll get a pretty good baseline here. So we're going to attack and put up our buffs. So we ended up with roughly half the buffs going on. So as of right now, that actually does look like it's 50%. Actually, no, the veil came from Candraphon and his cannot be removed. So we ended up with 3 of them out of 8, which is a little under, I guess the 30% or the 45% could land us there. I think it's right around 40%. So yeah, we've got her counterattack stayed on. Siphi's stayed on. Candraphon's, unfortunately, the one we really wanted it to, did not. So we'll see how viable this is, but we will go ahead now that we've started. Let's just go ahead and auto it. And this is the unpredictable part. I really don't like the fact that you can't predict whether or not it's going to be staying on. I could see this being very strong in like earlier level arena, but you really want things to be very consistent the higher in arena you get. So I don't know whether people will use it for the specific use that it is right now. Right there, we only got 2 of the buffs to go on permanently. So we ended up with 2 out of 8. That is what, 20%? No, 25%. Yeah, my brain's a little slow right now, so forgive me. So this isn't the worst team in the world, to be honest. Usually I run Kymar, Siphi, and 2 Rhodoses, but that one actually worked. Let's see what happens against this team. So again, we will go first and then try to sleep everyone. Doing so ensures we get a turn. And only 2 again stayed on. And it's the shields. I mean, don't get me wrong, you need shield to stay alive. Again, none of them went on Candraphon. We haven't had a single one stay on Candraphon yet. Hopefully that is just a fluke. And sleep everyone. We still get to place that. All right, we got it on Candraphon this time. That's huge. And hopefully that means that we're going to go take these people out. Let's just put it on auto and see what happens. All right, we're definitely going to lose this one, but we will see. None of them were permanent that time. That is 0 out of 8. That is very bad. Okay, that time we got it on half, so 50%. It was, again, not where we wanted it. It's on Valkyrie and it's on Kymar. I have no problem with keeping Kymar alive. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, but he doesn't have a strong attack to be countering with. Really, in this case, we would want it on Candraphon. So I think what we're going to do next is give this a test with, say, 2 very strong counterattack champions. Looks like we got it on Candraphon this time. That's good. The good news is she gets around to her turns quite often, so it's another chance to put it on and see how that goes. So we could even end up winning this one. All right, so we're going to try a couple. These are actually single target nukers. We'll try this out, and then after that, we'll try the Skullcrown Sinesha combo. See if either of these work out. What I would like to have is a 30% speed aura, but there's no way to make it work with who I have built right now. I'm not even sure it would be possible to make it work otherwise. So here we had it landed on 3 out of the 8. So again, a little less than half. So Wormbane, his counterattack is insanely strong. I do not have him built in as strong of gear as I could, just because I don't want to tear apart all my champions, but he's actually very strong as a counterattack champion. As long as he's paired with Valkyrie, he's really hard to keep alive, but if you have her, then he's not. Unfortunately, he's not an AoE attacker, so that's his one drawback. I hadn't thought of it, but Genbo's a little weak for this because he has to put on the crit rate and crit damage buff, and in order to be viable, and if he gets a counterattack before that, he won't have that. And all of it got stripped here, except for, of course, it's still on her. The other bad thing about Genbo is he takes 2 turns, so he just wipes this stuff off. Okay, next we're going to try putting in Sinesha and Skullcrown. I don't think I have them built, particularly strong. I've got Skullcrown in like a counterattack build, not one meant to have a counterattack champ with her, but to counterattack on her own. And then I've got Sinesha. She's built in Savage, I believe, if I remember correctly. So this time we got it on 3 again. This is seeming a lot more like the 30% and not like the higher percentages that I was hoping it would be, like closer to 50%. All right, do you want to rock? Tuhana rock. Let's see what we can do against her. Unfortunately, with their turn meter reduction, we might not get to cut in, and that could affect everything here. So, although so far it has not. Let's get that up, Valk. Come on, do your job. And unfortunately, I don't think she's going to get to. All right, we got to place it. We got one to land. It went on Skullcrown, so I would be very happy with this. She's actually the best one for it to land on because of the fact that she has the unkillable. So even if they do take her down, as long as they don't strip that, she gets to keep counterattacking every time she gets attacked. So I do think having Skullcrown with her is probably the strongest counterattack champ you could have. I do not have her built very strong right now, so don't base your judgments on that. We need it to land because Kymar's going to strip, and we know he's going to. So, but we should get to cut in. I hope. Yep, Valkyrie cuts in, and now, yeah, it landed on Sinesha at least. It did not on Skullcrown, so that was not ideal. So here we go. Do not, again, judge this on whether we win or lose the battles. What did we get? We got it on Sinesha and Skullcrown. This might be the only way we could win this battle. They're going to bring Skullcrown right down to nothing. If I had her built stronger, if I had her in a strong Savage set right now, I think we'd actually have a chance at winning this thing. But at the level that I have her at, we're not going to be able to. So the fact that we never see it above 50% makes me think that it's either capped at 45% or it really is 30%. So I think 30% is difficult to get above 50%. Still would think we'd see it once in a while, and I'm just not like ever seeing it here. It really is hovering where we, have expected to see it around that 45% mark. So around that 30% mark. Here we are rocking with Tuhana Rock again. This time we really do need it, and it worked. So Skullcrown will get to counterattack. Another possible crazy person to put it on, and I think this would be crazy, but maybe an early level arena, Skullcrown would be a really annoying person to put the protection set on. All right, now there's no one here to strip them off of us, so it's not a good test in that sense. But 1 out of 8, that is pathetic. That is just not a good ratio at all. So I see this set, you know, a year or 2 from now, when people have saved really good gear from it and rolled really good stats and gotten lucky. I see it being a very strong set to put on like a Krisk, Cernic, you know, somebody that is going to be putting a lot of buffs out there. Even like a Wither, something like that. But without really good stats on it, it's really not going to be worth it. We'll take on a Tormund team. We've got a Valkyrie in there. And let's just see what happens here. They place theirs, we place ours. We only got it on Sinesha. We got both of them, the shield and the counterattack. Again, that's less than 30%. Now, I'm not saying this is a weak set, but it's going to take a long time to make it strong, to have good gear in it. All right, I think this will be my last one. All right, Valkyrie, do your thing. All right, we got it on the one we wanted on. It's very strong on Skullcrown, especially if they can't strip her unkillable. So here it landed on... Wow, we did get the over 50%. Unless some of this is residual from before, we ended up on like 6 out of 8. If it did that, it would be very strong. I would be all for that set. I still don't think it's enough to take Duchess out, but the block up there. All right, 1 out of 8 that time. That's pathetic. All right, that time we got it on 3 out of 6. So about 50% that time. All right, she's low. Come on, finish her off. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, it was a hard-fought win, but we got it. Okay, what do you think? Do you think that protection set is broken? Do you think it's OP? Do you think those extra stats are enough to help push this into the forefront for you? Depending on what stage of the game you're at, you might feel that way. Having 24% speed in, you know, arena is a big deal, and in other areas of the game. So, you know, maybe if you've got the right champ to put it on, you know, maybe you're going to like it. So let me know what champ you're thinking of trying it on. And let me know what you thought of this testing. Do you think that it is broken? Do you think it is weak? And in fact, speaking of broken, look at the name of the guy that I just went up against. His name is Broken. So too bad he didn't know he was going to get beat by the protection set today. So, but yeah, I mean, for me personally, I think the protection set, it's going to be a while. I think we're going to need to see a year or 2 of people playing Hydra and taking on Hydra to get really good gear in it. I think the top level plat people will get it first, but I don't even know if they're going to use it. But with really, really good gear, Krisk, Cernic, some champions like that are going to be really hard to beat. Without really good gear, it's going to be, you know, I just don't think it brings enough to the table to make it worth it. So maybe use it pretending it doesn't protect anything. Use it on any champion you want to make fast if you don't have other gear to make them fast. I do think it could have its place to be an enhanced set, but you'd have to think of it kind of like an enhanced speed set. And then later on, when everybody has OP gear in this, then maybe it does really change the arena. Maybe it does something like that. I really hope we don't just start seeing Cernics and Man-Eaters wearing this in arena, so that, you know, every once in a while that unkillable goes on and you just can't strip it off. So it's like Swift Parry in that way. And it's just a lottery whether or not their defense is going to win that one or not. I think that would be a little heartbreaking. There's too much RNG in arena right now as it is. So I might try it on Wither once I have Wither built, just to see how putting those, you know, those heals on over and over again, how that works. But without the right gear, it probably just won't matter. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments. What champions would you use it on? Do I have this dead wrong? Is this just a super OP set? Who are you using it on, and where? You know, are you using it in PvE? Are you using it in PvP? You know, let me know where it's good and, you know, where we could recommend it. So anyway, thank you very much. I'm the Clam Boss. Please subscribe to my channel. It would help me out a ton. And, you know, please like, comment, share. That would be amazing.
It's just you, me, and the odds. We stuck together, we two peas in a pod. You dealt a bad hand, I'm there seizing the cards. We'll never be separated till we seeing the gods. We've been low together, high forever. Long as we go together, we'll die whenever. Be a light, couldn't let the darkness try you ever. Truth in my word, you I lie to never.